today we are going to be tackling the front forks. So what I'm intending of doing is sending the stanchions, so the fork tubes, off to be re-chromed, hard chromed. I put them back together last time. I stripped the bike down. And there's a couple of nicks on the chrome below the seal. I kind of thought, I hoped it wouldn't be a problem, but it is. When I took the bike off the gate, it was full of fork oil. It had just been squirting out, so it's about time I sent them off and got them treated properly. So that's what I'm about to do. There's a couple of things that I'm using. It's a quick job, so let me show you what I've got. Okay, so first tool is the factory manual. So this is Haynes for the 500 and the 450 twins. Unfortunately, the instructions in here for the front forks are for the CL model, which have got a different fork setup to the CB450. Anyway, what we've got is we've got this diagram here. You can see the different parts. Okay, so you've got the fork lower here. We've got a bolt that goes and holds the damper unit. That's this bit here. So this is the damper. This is one whole piece. We've got the spring. We've got this castle-shaped piece here, which goes on the damper there. We've got the fork seal, obviously, and we've got a circlip on the top. We've got the big nut that holds the spring in. A secondary seal just there, and then we've got this other piece which looks like that, which holds the spring on top. So those are the bits that we've got. Sorry, not a seal, it's an O-ring. So there you go, you can see the O-ring on the top there. So that's basically it. So these fork tubes are relatively straightforward, and then on the 450, the CB, we've got these gaiters. So I bought new gaiters. For mine, it's a relatively straightforward procedure to remove. So all that I've used is a 6mm Allen key, pair of circlip pliers, a 22mm socket, and a pry bar. I'll show you what the pry bar is for later. Of course, coffee. So right, I'll get set up and I will show you the one that I've already taken apart. Okay, so this is the one that I've already taken apart. So we've got the gaiter here, and the big pieces here that you can see that came out. So here's the tube. You can see the rust that's on there. You'll probably not make out, but here below the seal line, there's quite a few dings and scratches, which is causing the fork oil to leak out. Anyhow, so there's the tube, so which is going off a re-grind. Got the spring. This is the damper. So this rod moves up and down inside the fork tube with the spring. Inside here, so we've got the nut that goes on the top. This piece holds the spring, like so, onto the damper. This piece holds the bottom of the string, the bottom of the damper. We've got a fork seal, which will need replaced, and a circlip. Basically, that's it. They're quite straightforward, these forks. There's not a lot to them. Anyway, I'll take you through the the dismantling procedure. Here she is. So I've already drained the oil. So the bottom of each fork leg is a drain screw with a copper washer, which is important when you reinstall. I'll need a new copper washer. So the copper washer goes in the end of this 10mm bolt, and that seals the fork oil into the fork at the bottom here. All the oil is drained already, so that's that. We've got the new gaiter here, so I replaced these gaiters last time. So they're a patent part, not genuine, but they're exactly the same as the originals. And then we're left with the fork here. So we've got the top, so it's the 22mm there. At the bottom, as in fork oil, we've got the 6mm Allen bolt, which we'll remove. And then in here, which we're going to tackle first, we have the circlip. Okay, so we'll take that out first. So I've just got him clamped in this little clamp here, this little vise, just to hold it still, just protecting the fork legs with the cardboard. It's quite soft metal, those. So circlip pliers in there. Pull. Never opened first time. There we go. Just circlip off. And now the next procedure, we're going to invert the fork, and we're going to tackle the bolt at the bottom. Now these can just cause that damper unit on the inside to spin, so hopefully that won't happen. It did when I rebuilt them first time. Okay, you can just see inside there, but there is the Allen bolt. So as I say, it takes a 6mm, I believe. Excellent, seems to have come out no problem. There he is, and again, note the copper washer, again important when we reinstall. Okay, next step, take off the top. So I'm using my ratchet here. You don't have to, you just break that off. They're quite tight and they're under some spring pressure, so just have to be aware of that. There you go. So that's that. You can see the rubber O-ring on there. Again, they're brand new, they should be okay. I won't be replacing those. Okay, and as we go now, we should be able to take off the stanchion. It should just slide out, there's nothing holding it in now. And inside you'll see these. You see the spring. And then inside there, so if the once the top's off, you can lower the stanchion down. Inside there we've got, so this is the top of the damper. Obviously we've got the spring, and then we've got this nut, which, I'm just not going to do it one-handed, which unscrews. Okay, so I just nipped the, just nipped that with some vice grips. And this takes a, I don't know if you can see that, but it takes a 19mm wrench. So I just nipped it to stop the damper spinning, and then just crack that loose. And so this piece then holds on the spring. Okay, that stops the spring popping off. There we go. So it's just a bit tight on the top. So there we go. So that nut screws onto the top of the damper unit, and that applies the tension to keep the spring inside the fork tube. Okay, so let's remove the rest. So then we have the spring. And what you have to note is the springs, spring loops are closer together at one end than the other. So the wider side goes into the fork first, the tighter side is at the top. So that's that. And then we shall pull off the stanchion, which just slides out. And there we go. So there's the second fork tube, the stanchion. Okay, you can see the rust that was underneath the headlight ears, which is not a problem. That bit doesn't go through the seal. But down here, there are some, you'll not be able to pick up on the camera, but there's some heavy scores and heavy scratches, which was just oozing fork oil out. So anyway, so this is the one that needed redoing. Okay, so that's that. Now we're left with the damper. So again, if you can see down in here, so we've got the fork seal here, and we've got the damper here. The damper basically will just pull out, just wiggle him out. And I'll show you what this looks like here. Okay, and so it's a single piece, and they are very expensive to replace. And what we've got on the bottom here, you can see we've got this castle shaped thing which goes at the bottom of the spring, and then we've got the damper assembly itself. Okay, so at the bottom here you can see that's where the Allen head screws into from outside the fork. And then the mechanism at the top that screws into the top here, like so, to connect it all together. And basically, that's another damper. Okay, and this slides in and out, up and down. And all that'll need is a light clean and oil. So there we go. So that's that bit. So. Those are the pieces we've got out so far. Okay, and basically all we're left with is the fork tube at the bottom, fork leg. So let's deal with that now. The last thing to remove is the fork seal. So they're pressed in. So you get a socket on the outside and you press it in with a hammer. Now, to get them out, you just gently go and prise them round. So I'm using this pry bar just to get in underneath. Just gently. Here she goes. There we are. Okay. So the fork seal's out. Okay, again, they're brand new, but I shall need to replace those. So there we go. Forks disassembled. So that's the forks all disassembled. I'm going to package up the tubes, stanchions, and send those off to be re-chromed. It's a hard chrome that goes on those. So got both tubes here. As I say, the rust at the top here, the fork tube was underneath the fork ears. This one. Got these fork ears, they go on like that, the rust is underneath. Not a problem because that doesn't press through the fork seal, and you'll not be able to see, but there's a slight change in colour just here. So this is slightly duller than down here, so the chrome down here is a little bit better, but on the tube down here there are some nicks and some scratches and some chips. It's basically just letting the fork oil through as the springs compress. So we'll get them redone. It's infinitely cheaper than buying a new set of forks. So that's what we should be up to. We should be sending those off. Now in the meantime, I'm going to retreat the fork lowers. So what I did is I bought some appliance paint, type of paint, the spray paint that you would put on a fridge or a freezer. Like that's really, really hard. So I'm just going to rough this up and reapply another couple of layers to the tubes down here, just to freshen them up before I put the forks back together when the tubes come back. Right, I think that's it. Just a quick one today. It's not a big job dismantling the forks. it's not picture part. I'll show the rebuild procedure when we come back. So if you found that useful or interesting, please give me a big thumbs up, leave a comment, consider subscribing down below. I really appreciate it. I'll see you next time. Bye for now.